At 29 years of age, Corey Perry has cemented himself a legacy in the game of hockey. And without question, he is Peterborough's most decorated athlete. From winning a Memorial Cup to a World Junior Hockey Championship, to 2 Olympic gold medals, to a Stanley Cup, to the Hart Trophy as league's most valuable player, Corey Perry has received several accolades. But he says getting the key to the city was one of the most special. That's right, Jay and Carrie. We are here at Millennium Park. It's the 2014 Peterborough Rib Fest, and as you can see behind me, people are packing Millennium Park just off Water and King Street for what is one fantastic event. This is the 12th edition of Peterborough Rib Fest, and it's become one of the most popular events in all of Peterborough. From a humble upbringing in Manitoba to one of the most passionate sports cities in all of North America, Israel Dalje has certainly come a long way. And with his special teams contributions increasing, he promises that's only the beginning, as there's certainly something special about the Bears' number 71. From coast to coast, the game of hockey has been embedded into our society as Canada's game. And here on the prairies, that statement couldn't be more accurate. But does the game that we love have the possibility of one day losing its appeal? For the next 3 nights, I'll take you through an in-depth look at hockey in our province.
December 13th, 1987 was the day my mom was killed by my father.
December 13th, 1987 is a day that Brenda Bach will never forget, no matter how hard she tries, as it was a day that domestic violence took control of her entire life and turned her entire world upside down.
Because it totally uproots your whole life as you knew it. Because I lost both parents that day.
After years of living with an abusive father and watching her mother endure unimaginable hardships, life would take another terrible turn as Brenda's mother, Joyce Watson, was shot and killed by her husband.
Provincial police in Apsley were called to the accused residence this morning on McGillivray Road in Bycroft Township. Upon arrival, they found the body of Joyce Watson.
Brenda and her 2 brothers were in the house next door.
It's gotten a bit easier over the years, but it still is very difficult. I think it was because I was so young, and it was just such a tragic thing. Having a father that could do that to his family is something that's just kind of unheard of and just a terrible thing to do to people that you're supposed to love.
26 years later, Brenda Bach is still haunted by what domestic abuse has done to her life. As she finds the strength and courage to share her story, Brenda hopes that by speaking up, she can help another woman walk away from an abusive relationship and prevent another family from having to endure the tragedy that her family did.
I need to know for myself that it's more important to get the message out there than it is to be ashamed and carry the guilt that's not mine.
Here's going to the Jays game today.
We are.
Jays fans came by the trainload from Oshawa, Peterborough, Pickering, Whitby, from all over.
Extremely excited. Look at all these happy people on the GO train right now, all Blue Jays hats. I love it. It's awesome.
I've never seen the stadium like this. There's 45,000 people here. Just awesome.
Ken and Kathy Garvey, along with their 2 sons, made the trek from Peterborough to attend the Jays home opener. Who's your favorite player?
Jose Reyes. Jose Bautista.
The longtime Jays fans haven't seen this much excitement since the early 90s, and they're not alone.
It's like 1993 here all over again.
Probably since the days of the 92-93 World Series, we haven't had much to cheer about, so it's exciting to see them putting a good team on the field.
Since I got up this morning at 6:30 on the radio, I heard everyone just going nuts talking about it. It's going to be huge. Like, there's never been this much hype from what I remember.
And the atmosphere at Rogers Centre for the Jays home opener was simply electric, giving some Jays players goosebumps.
I think you really realize until you get out there and the crowd's going crazy and you're getting standing ovations and the crowd's going crazy. You know, obviously you got goosebumps the whole time.
It was tremendous. They were into it. They were excited. You know, that's the thing. I know they're all disappointed. You know, we're not. That's part of baseball. I mean, we just got outplayed tonight. but they'll be back.
While the Cleveland Indians may have dampened the party in the Jays' home opener, clearly there's no stopping Jays fever in 2013, as fans are expected to be very excited about the upcoming baseball season.
What can I do for you?
I have cervical cancer.
This is your 4th go-around, correct?
Yes, I've beaten leukemia 3 times.
In an emotional public awareness campaign, Courtney Druce has become the face of a champion, a 4-time cancer survivor, all before the age of 25. She's now ready to tell her story about her incredible journey.
I think it means that I've really accepted what has happened, because in the beginning I really couldn't talk about it. I'd get really emotional if I heard other people were sick. I didn't let people see me when I was sick. I was really reserved. So it's a huge step for me personally to be able to come out and talk about it now.
Courtney, along with her father, former NHLer John Druce, have formed a special bond in their fight against cancer. Together they are co-chairs for the Pete's Pink in the Rink Cancer Fundraiser Night taking place on Thursday. For John, he's found a new hero in his daughter, as he says she's the toughest person he's ever met.
As a hockey player, you think that you go through the wars and the battles and cuts and bruises and broken bones and all that stuff, and that was hard. But to see what she had to go through and be there by the hospital bed for months on end, and not only going through it once, but now 4 times, that's pretty tough. That's strength from deep down within, and to see the way she is now and her energy and her smiles is amazing.
Together, father and daughter cherish every moment, because time becomes extra precious when the most precious thing in the world is nearly taken from you.
We were in the ICU, and all of a sudden she started to code. The heart rate was getting erratic, and things weren't good, and it happened fast.
Doctors were like, we need to get all her immediate family here. We don't think she's going to make it through the night.
She was scared, and you could tell, but I just figured what better thing to do than to kind of just take her out of it. I'd put a towel over our heads and just kind of talk to her eye to eye.
And I just remember him holding a white cloth over my face to shield me from the lights. And he was just like, what can I do to get you through this?
And tried to get her focused on surviving and talking about the things that meant something to her, and talking about just anything for the future.
He stood there with me, and for me, looking back, it feels like just minutes, but I'm sure it was hours, and he stood there and just eye contact kept me going the whole time.
Afterward, the doctors pulled me aside and they're like, how did you do that? They said, do you know how close things were, how bad it was? I said, well, I had a pretty good idea that it wasn't good, so I thought if I could just keep her focused to get her through that, then, hopefully it would help.